Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Atuekong, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, my governor, His Excellency Governor UMO ENO, the governor of God's own state. My dear wife, Ekaite Onoma Godswill Akpabio, the wife of the Senate President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Let me recognize the coordinator of the Office of the First Lady of AKWA-IBOM State, my own sister. The Deputy Governor of AKWA-IBOM State is also here, another senator, Senator Ahmed, and former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Right Honorable Speaker and members of the AKWA-IBOM State House of Assembly, my successor, His Excellency Governor Udom Gabriel Emmanuel. The man who did a wonderful job of maintenance of the infrastructure of the state in excellent condition. I recognize the bipartisan nature of the delegation. I've seen the APC chairman in AKWA-IBOM State, Stephen Tugegbo. I've also seen the PDP chairman of AKWA-IBOM State. I've seen distinguished senators past and present. I've seen House of Representative members past and present. I've seen our esteemed stakeholders, former ministers, former Ds, former Dats, and of course, a delegation from our revered traditional institution, led by the President General, who has just done the presentation to Mr. President. I thank you, and I thank you. I thank you once again. Mr. President, I want to just acknowledge the presence of National Security Advisor, your ministers, particularly our own son, Obong MM, his name is the Prince of Peace, our AKWA-IBOM. The Minister of Information, the Chief of Staff, and other dignitaries of the government of the Federation of Nigeria. Mr. President, words will fail me if I am to describe the kind of elation and happiness that I have today. This is the first time in the history of AKWA-IBOM that the blue and the white rivers are mixing together. The governor of AKWA-IBOM State is walking the talk. He said he will run the state in a bipartisan manner, that politics is over and now governance has started. I will not fail to recognize that in this entourage, Mr. President, in the local government structure in AKWA-IBOM, you have an APC local government chairman. His name is Obong Ntiedo. Thank you. Just bow before the President. He is the only surviving APC local government chairman. He survived the tsunami of the PDP during the local government elections. So sit down now. The President has seen you. And even on your behalf, I want to once again thank the Governor for keeping faith with the electoral promise of ensuring that whoever wins clean and clear will be declared. Your Excellency, I thank you for this. And coincidentally, he happens to be the local government chairman superintending over the local government of the Senate President. So, Mr. President, mine is just to appreciate my people for coming out to let you know that I come from home. To appreciate all of them for letting you know that they accept me across party lines in the state. For coming out to let Nigerians know that even the traditional institutions that I once looked after as governor are all with me. And to also let you know that AKWA-IBOM is safe and ready to support you come 2027. Otherwise, they will not come in these numbers. So I thank the governor. All of them, he made flight available for all across party lines. He made accommodation available for all across party lines. So what we are doing today is that people tend to forget that you went back to memory lane, and then the National Assembly, in its wisdom, approached you with a new bill to say that, yes, indeed, the Nigerian national anthem should change to reflect the diversity of the country, that in brotherhood we stand. So today, AKWA-IBOM has exemplified it in practice, that though towns and tribes may differ, but in brotherhood we stand. So, Mr. President, this is AKWA-IBOM. My people are here. My heart is full of joy. I want to thank you also that despite your crowded schedule, today happens to have been your Juma prayers, you are fasting, and you have just signed the people's budget for the country, the first super ambitious budget to turn around the country, to renew the hope of Nigerians in the total sum of about 54.9 trillion, the first time in the history of Nigeria. Mr. President, I like to describe you. People think you are an astute politician, but I would rather think that you are an astute leader. People say that a politician thinks of the next election, but a leader thinks of the next generation. Your budget of 2025 is a budget that reflects your deep thoughts and aspirations for the generations of Nigerians yet unborn. So I congratulate you, sir. You have not left AKWA-IBOM out in your appointments. Many have received appointments. They will still come back to thank you. And many are still awaiting your signature to their appointment letters, which are already on your desk. They will also join to come and thank you. And they came back to me and said AKWA-IBOM is an agrarian society, and that we used to produce palm produce. When we were in Southeastern State and Cross River State, we survived on that, and that was what our government thrived on. And therefore, they will appeal to you that in your push to ensure that we produce what we eat and eat what we produce, food sufficiency for Nigeria, that they will request that Mr. President should graciously give them a University of Agriculture. Mr. President, I can inform them that that has already been passed by the National Assembly and will soon be presented to you for assent. So in advance, I can say congratulations to AKWA-IBOM people that the administration, of President Ahmed Tinubu will do everything possible to turn around not just the educational sector, but particularly improving the lot of the AKWA-IBOM people. Mr. President, it will also interest you to know that over 40,000 Nigerian children every year cannot gain admission. So I don't know how many schools you will establish to be able to meet up the number that applied to JAM and the number that are rejected. Some students have sat for JAM for 5 years, And some have had to give up tertiary education to get married and settle down in menial jobs because of inability to enter school. But since you came, you established the students' loan, and now you have made it possible for the less vulnerable, the very poor in the society, to obtain tertiary education. As you open doors to schools across the nation, you are closing the doors of prisons. Our prayer today is that as Atueko, which is Commander-in-Chief of AKWA-IBOM State, that you lead us to the El Dorado as you carry the rest of Nigeria along. May God continue to imbue you with wisdom, with good health. Amen. And may God fight your enemies. Amen. May God fight your enemies. Amen. Those who wish you well, may God also make them well. Amen. Those who wish you ill, may they be alive to see you continue to thrive. Amen. We don't wish anybody dead. We want them to be alive to see the glory of God in your life. God's own president, congratulations on your title today, and thank you for receiving my people. The people of AKWA-IBOM said, it's a song. Thank you, Mr. President.